Hi students, in the last class we have discussed about various examples of electrolysis process, and in today's class, that is the lecture number 11, we'll start with Faraday's laws. But before we'll going to discuss Faraday's laws, one small concept is left in electrolysis process, that is only called as over potential or over voltage. Now we'll see what is over potential or voltage by taking aqueous sodium chloride example. See here, aqueous sodium chloride is undergoing electrolysis process. What happens? We'll see now. Aqueous sodium chloride means it is splitting as Na plus Cl minus. Aqueous contains water. H2O also splits as H plus OH minus. This is already known to you. Okay, right. Now we'll write reactions at its respective electrodes. Anode reaction will write first. At anode is a plus. Plus means the minus ion should combine discharge. Out of minus ion means we'll have Cl minus ions as well as OH minus ion. Out of Cl minus ion as well as OH minus ion, which ion will combine discharge? That we have learned in our last class. We have discussed one order, that is nothing but discharging potential order. Based on that order, Cl minus ion only will combine discharge and you will get a chlorine gas. But now we are discussing about what is over potential. For that purpose, what I am doing now here, both Cl minus ion related oxidation reaction and OH minus ion related oxidation reaction, both ions related oxidation reactions first I'll write. After that we'll decide which is possible, which is not possible. See here, first Cl minus ion. If a Cl minus ion is undergoing oxidation by losing, of course, electron converted to chlorine gas. Next, if OH minus ion undergoing oxidation at anode, and the thing is OH minus ion is coming from water, that's why we will take entire water molecule. Even though you are taking entire water molecule, in that water only OH minus ion will undergo oxidation, remember, not entire water molecule. And after oxidation you will get O2, and the remaining species from water is H plus, and of course electron is releasing, balancing purpose will write 2, and we will write here 4, it is also 4, that's it. Two species related oxidation reactions has shown here. Then we'll do one thing. Then here Cl minus undergoing oxidation, will write its SRP value. Here its SRP value, first case SRP value E0 value is 1.36 volts, and in the second case SRP value E0 value is 1.23 volts. Both standard reduction potential values has given. Then very simple phenomena is, if a reduction potential is more, definitely it prefers for reduction. If a reduction potential value is less, it prefers for oxidation. Now we are discussing about anode. Anode means oxidation should take place. Oxidation purpose, SRP value should be definitely less. Based on that, then 1.36, 1.23, if you observe, OH minus, of course water, OH minus SRP value is less. Based on SRP value, OH minus ion only should come at anode and it should discharge. Means at anode oxygen gas should liberate based on its SRP value. I'll repeat, because less SRP value, because of less SRP value, OH minus ion only should undergo oxidation at the anode. That's why oxygen gas only should liberate at anode. But Really, actually, oxygen gas is not liberating. Instead of oxygen gas, chlorine gas only liberating at anode. Being more SRP, chlorine gas only liberating at anode. Then why this happens? That only will be explained based on over potential, nothing but over voltage concept. Right? What is over potential? That is nothing but what is over voltage. We will just see its reason. Reason means why Cl minus ion only undergoing oxidation? Why OH minus ion is not undergoing oxidation? Very simple reason. That is, in the electrolysis process, of course, electrodes are there. One is a plus electrode, one is a minus electrode, anode and cathode, connected to battery. Now we are discussing about anode, means here. Then as far as OH minus ion is concerned, even though less SRP is there, of course, first definitely undergoing oxidation here. Because of oxidation, what happened here? Then some layer of gas molecules are appearing on the electrode lines. One layer is forming on electrode, gas layer is forming. Let it, what is the problem then? The problem is this layer will prevent further oxidation process. Then to overcome this problem, definitely we have to supply here 1.23 volts is not enough for continuous oxidation process. Then some extra potential we have to supply. Okay? Then at 1.23 oxidation is taking place, no doubt. Then one layer has formed. This layer will not allow for further oxidation process. Automatically what happened then? OH minus ion rate of oxidation becomes very slow. That's why to make it fast, to make it a speed, extra potential we have to supply. Then this extra potential itself is called as over potential. This extra potential itself is called as over potential. Suppose if you have not supplied extra potential, definitely instead of OH minus ion, Cl minus ion only preferred in oxidation process, and ultimately chlorine gas is liberating. Okay. Now how to define over potential or over voltage? Very simple. The minimum extra potential what we are supplying over than standard electrode potential to discharge the ion is called as over potential. I'll repeat. The minimum extra potential, okay, supplied over standard electrode potential to discharge the ion is called as over potential or over voltage. I'll repeat once again. The minimum extra potential over standard electrode potential has supplied to discharge the ion is called as over potential or over voltage. That's why OH minus oxidation purpose, further oxidation purpose, extra potential is required. That's why instead of OH minus ion, Cl minus ion is preferring. Cl minus ion is undergoing oxidation. That's why at anode, chlorine gas is liberating. And of course, in the last class we have written that is a discharging potential order. Based on that order also, Cl minus ion only will be preferred. When Cl minus and OH minus ions are compared to each other, definitely Cl minus ion only preferred, because Cl minus ion discharging potential value is less. I am telling discharging potential value is less. That's it. This is called as over potential or over voltage. That's why don't confuse by seeing the value here. Less SRP means I will just expect. OH minus only should undergoes oxidation at anode. But here what happened? When a layer of gas has formed, that layer will be prevented further oxidation. That's why for further oxidation purpose, some extra potential we have to supply. That extra potential itself is called as over potential or over voltage. That's why instead of OH minus ion, Cl minus ion is undergoing oxidation. That's all. Right. Now we'll start with Faraday's first law. First law of Faraday. You can write Faraday's first law. Very simple concept. Very simple. Before again going to start Faraday's first law, we'll just recall any one electrolysis process. Of course, one electrolytic cell, electrolyte has taken, and here two electrodes are dipped. One is acting as anode, one is acting as cathode. It is a plus terminal, minus terminal, that's why it is an anode, it is a cathode. Now an electrolyte, that is AB, has taken. AB electrolyte. Now when current is passing, what happened? Electrolysis process takes place. What is electrolysis already known to you. Then first of all, AB splits as A plus and B minus. All minus ions are moving towards plus electrode, and after going at anode, they undergoes discharging, and after discharging, what happened? B is forming at anode. Similarly, A plus ions are moving towards cathode because minus will goes to plus, plus will goes to minus. A plus ions will go and discharge at cathode, and A is forming. And of course, anode, here oxidation takes place, and cathode reduction is taking place. That's all. This is only called electrolysis. Now, what is Faraday's first law? What is Faraday's first law? Very simple. From the battery, if you send more current, more amount of current, Q is nothing but current in coulombs. If more current if you send into this electrolytic cell, automatically more electrolysis process takes place. If more electrolysis process takes place, more amount of substances will be deposited. That's it. Faraday's first law means more current, more electrolysis process, more amount of substance deposited. That's all. More current, more amount, more current, more amount, or less current, less amount. Here amount we are indicating with a W symbol. Amount is nothing but mass. More current if you send, more mass of substance will be deposited. That's why both are directly proportional to each other. We'll write like this. Therefore, we'll write W proportional to Q. It is based on Faraday's first law. Now, how to define Faraday's first law? Very simple. The amount of substance deposited at electrodes is directly proportional to quantity of current passed into electrolytic solution is called as Faraday's first law. The amount of substance deposited is directly proportional to quantity of current which is passing into electrolytic solution is called as Faraday's first law. Based on Faraday's first law, W proportional to Q. We'll just expand the formula. I'll just remove here a proportional symbol. Then we'll write like this: W is equals to some constant Z into Q. I'll write. Here what is W? Mass of substance deposited at electrode. What is the Q? Current in coulombs we are passing into electrolytic cell. Here a new term is Z. Z is nothing but electrochemical equivalent. That's it. Electrochemical equivalent. Now our target is we have to define Z. Electrochemical equivalent definition will see now. Now we'll do one thing. Say it is equation 1. From equation 1, Z will bring LHS. Therefore, Z is equals to W by Q. W by Q. Now what I am doing in electrolysis process, from the battery, if I send only 1 coulomb of current, okay, so again we'll just recall. from the battery, only 1 coulomb of current I am sending into this electrolytic cell. Then what happened? Some amount of substance deposited definitely. Some amount of substance deposited definitely. That amount itself is called as electrochemical equivalent. Why? If you Q1, if you substitute here, Z is equals to W. Okay, Z equal to W. What is W? W is nothing but of course mass of substance deposited. If W is mass of substance deposited, Z is also mass of substance deposited only. But when 1 coulomb of current is passed, okay, from the battery, if you send 1 coulomb of current, whatever the amount of substance deposited is called as electrochemical equivalent. Now, how to define now electrochemical equivalent? Very simple. The mass of substance deposited at electrode is directly proportional to 1, or very simple, the mass of substance deposited on electrode when 1 coulomb of current is passed is called as electrochemical equivalent. I'll repeat once again. The mass of substance deposited when 1 coulomb of current is passed into electrolytic solution is called as electrochemical equivalent. That's all. Now, we'll continue the formula. This will expand the equation 1. That is, instead of Q, we'll write like this. Q is equals to I into T. Q equal to I into T. Q is nothing but current in coulombs. I is nothing but current in amperes. T nothing but time in seconds. Instead of Q here, instead of Q, if you substitute I into T, you will get another formula. W is equals to ZIT. That's all. See, it is another formula. Once again, what is W? Mass of substance deposited, and Z electrochemical equivalent. I is nothing but current in amperes. T time in seconds. Right. Next, one more formula also will write with the help of this second formula. That another formula is like this. Suppose again from the battery, if I send 1 Faraday or 96,487 coulombs. Remember, 1 Faraday is equals to 96,487. So how 1 Faraday equal to 96,487? That we will discuss shortly, of course. And this much current if you send from the battery into electrolytic solution, then the amount of substance deposited will be fixed. I'll repeat. 1 Faraday or 96,487 coulombs of current if you send into electrolytic solution, at electrodes the amount of substance deposited will be fixed. How much amount of substance deposited is equals to equivalent mass. Its equivalent mass. It is also called as 1 gram equivalent substance deposited. When 1 Faraday or 96,487 coulombs of current is passed into that electrolytic solution, then at respective electrodes the amount of substance deposited will be its corresponding equivalent mass. So how it is equal to equivalent mass, that also we'll discuss shortly. Next, what I am doing, I am not sending 96,487 coulombs. I am not sending 96,487 coulombs. I am just sending 1 coulomb of current. Okay, 96,487 coulombs purpose E amount of substance deposited. If you send only 1 coulomb of current, how much amount of substance deposited? Okay, that is equals to just a mathematical operation. 1 into E, that is nothing but E divided by 96,487. That's all. Once again, what is E? E is equivalent mass, no doubt. Or we can also say like this: E is nothing but amount of substance deposited when 1 Faraday or 96,487 coulombs of current is passed. Then what is E by 96,487? It is also amount of substance deposited only when 1 coulomb of current is passed. I'll repeat. E It is amount of substance deposited when 96,487 coulombs of current is passed. Then here E by 96,487 is also amount of substance deposited only, but when 1 coulomb of current is passed. Then we'll go back to Z, electrochemical equivalent. How we have defined Z? Z is also amount of substance deposited when 1 coulomb of current is passed. What is this one? It is also amount of substance deposited when 1 coulomb of current is passed. That's why then both we can equalize. There is nothing but, therefore I will write like this. Z is equals to, because it is also amount of substance deposited when 1 coulomb of current is passed. It is also amount of substance deposited when 1 coulomb of current is passed. That's why I am just equalizing like this. Z is equals to E by 96,487. Or we can also write like this. Z is equals to E by F also we can write. Both are correct. Because 96,487 or F both are equal only. Okay. Now what I am doing ultimately, in the second formula, in place of Z, I'll substitute this one. In second formula, in place of Z, I'll substitute this one. You will get ultimate last formula like this. W is equals to, in place of Z, I'll substitute this one, capital E divided by 96,487 into I into T. That's it. This is Faraday's first law final formula. Based on this formula only, we'll have plenty of questions. We'll just recall the terms. What is W? Mass of substance deposited at electrodes. E, nothing but equivalent mass. I, current in amperes. T, time in seconds. 96,487 is of course constant. That's all. We'll see once again. According to Faraday's first law, when more current, if you send more amount of substance deposited, therefore W proportional to Q. And if you remove the proportional symbol, you can write one constant, W equal to ZQ. Say equation 1, Z is nothing but electrochemical equivalent. Now I want to define Z. Z will bring LHS. Z equal to W by Q. Then if I substitute Q equal to 1, therefore W equal to Z equal to W. Now what is Z? Z is nothing but electrochemical equivalent. How to define electrochemical equivalent? Very simple. If Q equal to 1, Z equal to W. Then what is W? Mass of substance deposited. Then Z is also mass of substance deposited only. But when 1 coulomb of current is passed. Therefore, how to define here? The mass of substance deposited when 1 coulomb of current is passed into electrolytic cell is called as electrochemical equivalent. Next, we will extend like in place of here from equation 1, Q we can also substitute as IT. Q equal to IT. Q current in coulombs, I current in amperes, T time in seconds. If you substitute here in the equation 1, we will get W equal to ZIT. It is another formula. And last, that is 1 Faraday or 96,487 coulombs of current. This much fixed current only. If you send into electrolytic cell, then the amount of substance deposited will be fixed. That is its equivalent mass. Yes, this many coulombs purpose, this much mass deposited. But I am sending only 1 coulomb. How much mass deposited is equals to E by 96,487. Therefore, E by 96,487 is nothing but amount of substance deposited when 1 coulomb of current is passed. Then Z is also same meaning only. Therefore, both we are equalizing. Z as well as E by 96. If you equalize, you get this formula. Z equal to E by 96,487 or Z equal to E by F also we can write. Therefore, in the second formula, in place of Z, we can substitute this one. Therefore, the final formula W equal to E by 96,487 into I into T. That's all. Here, mass of substance deposited, equivalent mass, and current in amperes, time in seconds. That's it. Now, based on these formulas, we'll solve some questions. Of course, Faraday's laws problems theory as well as problems important for theory as well as competitive examinations. Question number 1. Find the amount of copper deposited when 5 amperes current is used for 1 hour through aqueous copper sulfate solution, and in the brackets atomic mass of copper is equals to 63.5. That's all. This is the question. First we'll try to understand the given question. After that we will write its appropriate data. It is asking find the amount, nothing but mass of copper is asking, deposited when 5 amperes current from the battery, 5 amperes current is passing, nothing but I value is passed, current is used of course for 1 hour. It is a time is 1 hour, and through aqueous copper sulfate solution, means we are doing a aqueous copper sulfate solution electrolysis process. Then of course atomic mass of copper has given 63.5. Now what we have to calculate? Mass we have to calculate. Therefore first we will write its relevant data. Mass of copper, question mark. Next 5 amperes, I is equals to 5 amperes. Next we will write T how much they have given? 1 hour, but here one condition is there, that is if a current is in amperes, time should be in seconds. Therefore this hour will convert into seconds. If you multiply with only 160, like 1 into 60, you will get in minutes, and another 60 if you multiply, you will get seconds. And one more value is required, that is nothing but equivalent mass. Equivalent mass of copper is required, otherwise it is not possible to solve mass of copper. Then equivalent mass is not given in the question, and of course no need to give also, we have to calculate and write. Then equivalent mass formula is atomic mass divided by valency is equivalent mass. Atomic mass already given in the question only, 63.5 divided by valency. Again valency is a question mark. Then how much valency you have to consider? Right, valency also given indirectly in the question, that is you have given copper sulfate. If you split the copper sulfate, you get a Cu plus 2, SO4 minus 2. Cu plus 2 is nothing but copper valence is 2. Therefore divided by 2 is nothing but 31.75. That's all. Now all values are available. We'll take our main formula and we'll substitute in that. Mass of copper is equals to equivalent mass of copper divided by 96,487 into I into T, that's it, equal to equivalent mass of copper is 31.75 divided by 96,487 into I, current in amperes, 5 amperes, into time in seconds, 60 into 60, 60 into 60, and if you simplify the entire value, then the final answer will be 5.8 grams mass of copper. Mass of copper means If you pass 5 amperes current for 1 hour, then at electrode means copper will deposit 5.8 grams only. That's all. That's why after observing the question, we have to write its appropriate data first. Based on the data, first we will write our main regular formula, and in that what he is asking, what he has given, just we have to substitute, then we will get answer. Right. We will go to next question. Second question we write. Calculate how long it will take to deposit 1 gram of chromium when a current of 1.25 amperes flows through a solution of chromium sulfate and atomic mass of chromium has given 52. That's it. First we'll try to understand the given question. Calculate how long, nothing but time is asking. It will take to deposit 1 gram of chromium, means mass has given 1 gram of chromium when current of 1.25 amperes I has given flows through a solution of chromium sulfate and chromium atomic mass has given. Means this question is also like similar to previous question, but there we have calculated mass, but here we are calculating time. That's all. We will write first given information. Deposit 1 gram, mass of chromium equal to 1 gram, already given in the question. Next I has given, I is equals to 1.25 amperes. Next T is a question mark. Remember, if current given in the amperes, time answer you will get in the seconds only. That's all. Next one is equivalent mass of chromium. Formula already known to you, atomic mass divided by valency. Atomic mass is 52 divided by again valency question mark. Valency purpose we have to use this electrolyte. This electrolyte will split chromium sulfate. If you split, you will get a 2Cr plus 3 plus 3SO4 minus 2. Here, what is the charge of chromium? 3. That is itself is its valency. 52 by 3. 52 by 3 is a 17.33. This is equivalent mass. Now we'll write our main formula. Mass of chromium is equals to equivalent mass of chromium divided by 96,487 into I into T. First our main as it is formula will write. Next we'll change it because he is asking a time. Time will bring LHS. Therefore T is equals to, we'll multiply these two, mass of chromium into 96,487 divided by equivalent mass of chromium into I. That's all. This is our required formula. Now we'll substitute. I'll write here this side. T is equals to mass of chromium. Mass of chromium is 1 gram and into 96487 divided by equivalent mass of chromium is 17.33 into I, current is 1.25. That's all. If you simplify, you will get 4466 seconds. You will get this answer. That's it. Means this much time is required to deposit 1 gram of copper. Then here electrolyte is chromium sulfate. That's all. First our main formula as it is will write, and after that then here T asking means D how to bring LHS. If I asked, I have to bring LHS. Whatever he has asked, that we just bring LHS and the remaining values. If you substitute, you will get the answer. That's it. Next, third question will go. Right, question number 3. Zero 0.36 grams of metal is deposited on the electrode when 1.2 amperes current is passed for 15 minutes through its salt solution. Atomic weight of atomic mass, of course, of metal is 96. The question is what will be its valency? That's it. This is the question. See, first question mass has asked. In the second question time has asked. In the third question is asking valency. Okay. First we'll understand the question. 0.36 grams of metal, nothing but W, has a deposited on the electrode when 1.2 amperes, current I value has given, is passed for 15 minutes. If I has given in the amperes, time should be in the seconds, means 15 into 60 we have to take. That's all. And through its salt solution, atomic mass of metal has given, that is 96, and is asking its valency. Metal name has not mentioned. If a metal name has mentioned, directly we can tell valency. That's why metal is unknown. Okay, we'll try to find a valency value. Okay, answer. Mass of metal, M, metal is nothing but 0.36 grams. Next, I value equal to 1.2 amperes and T value 15 minutes, nothing but 15 into 60 seconds. Next, here equivalent mass of metal. Equivalent mass of metal also we don't know, because equivalent mass is nothing but atomic mass by valency. And of course atomic mass is there, but valency is only not there. Valency only have to calculate. That's the equivalent mass also will keep as it is. We'll do one thing. Before we'll going to calculate valency, our main question is valency. But before valency, we'll find equivalent mass. After getting of equivalent mass, we'll go to valency. We'll see now. Mass of metal is equals to equivalent mass of metal divided by 96,487 into I into T. Now equivalent mass will bring LHS, cross multiplication, mass of metal into 96487 divided by then here I into T, that's all. We'll just substitute the values. Equivalent mass of metal is equals to, mass of metal is 0.36 into 96487 divided by I, current value 1.2 into 15 into 60. Then if you simplify, then equivalent mass you will get, that is a 32.16 you will get. This is equivalent mass. That is equivalent mass. But we don't want equivalent mass. Our target is valency. Okay, valency will calculate. But before that, we'll just see once again. Mass of metal has given, current has given, as well as the time also given, and is asking valency. But don't calculate valency, and it is not possible also directly calculation of valency. First, we'll find equivalent mass. Therefore, the main formula, whatever our main formula is there, that main formula we have changed like this. Equivalent mass is shifted LHS, and now we have calculated equivalent mass also, 32.16 something we are getting. From that value, we will get valency like this. We'll continue here. Then we'll have the formula. Equivalent mass is equals to, you can write equivalent mass is equals to atomic mass divided by valency is our formula. We can write equivalent mass is equals to atomic mass divided by valency. Now here valency will bring here, equivalent mass will bring here. Therefore valency is equals to atomic mass divided by equivalent mass. That's it. Therefore, valency is equals to atomic mass already given in the question 96 divided by equivalent mass just now calculated 32.16, and if you calculate again, you will get 2.98. We can make it 3. That is your answer. That's all. Valency we have calculated like this. That's why when valency has asked, first we will find equivalent mass. After getting of equivalent mass, valency we have to calculate like this. Because equivalent mass equal to atomic mass by valency, will interchange the terms. Therefore, we will get valency, atomic mass divided by equivalent mass. Atomic mass already question in question only has given. Equivalent mass has calculated 2.98. Will make it round figure value 3. That's right. The metal valency is 3, like aluminum type. Okay, aluminum sulfate, aluminum type, or chromium sulfate, like chromium type it is. That's all. One more question we'll see. How long a current of 3 amperes has to be passed through a silver nitrate solution to coat a metal surface of 80 centimeter square with 0.005 millimeters thick layer. Next, density of silver is equals to 10.5 gram per centimeter cube is the question. That's all. How long? Again is asking time, but question is completely different than previous question. How long a current of 3 amperes? Of course, I has given 3 amperes has to be passed through silver nitrate solution to coat a metal surface of that is 80 centimeter cube. 80 centimeter square. Centimeter square is nothing but here area has given, and with 0.005 millimeters is nothing but thickness has given, and of course density has given. With the help of this data, we'll find again time. T we have to calculate. Okay, we'll write here. First we'll write the given data. Current I is equals to 3 amperes and T is question mark. Next density is equals to 10.5 gram per centimeter cube and A equal to 80 centimeter square, and next thickness is equals to 0.005 millimeters. We'll do one thing. Then here it is a centimeter cube, centimeter square. Means almost CGS values has given. So this millimeter also will convert into centimeter only. Therefore, we will write here 1 millimeter equal to 0.1 centimeter. Instead of millimeter, I will substitute this one. Therefore, thickness is equals to 0.005 into 0.1 is also centimeter only. Millimeter has converted into centimeter because all values are in centimeter only. I mean CGS system only. Okay. Next, we'll find first, because is asking time. Time means current is already known, and that is a density, area is also known. We have to know mass of the substance. Without mass, we cannot calculate time. That's why mass. How we are getting this question mark? Then our regular formula is there. Density is equals to mass by volume. Then mass will bring LHS. Mass is equals to density into volume. Mass is equals to density into volume. Then the density will extend one more step. Density into volume is nothing but area into thickness. I'll take volume is nothing but area into thickness. Therefore, area into thickness, mass is equals to, and if you substitute all the values, you will get mass. Mass of silver you will get. Okay. Therefore, mass of silver W of H equals to density already given in the question only 10.5 into area has given 80 centimeter square into next thickness has given 0.005 into 0.1 otherwise divided by 10 also you can write. And if you simplify the entire value, then you will get 0.42 grams you will get. That's all. This is about mass. But this is not our answer. It is asking me time. Once again, based on the given data, we have calculated mass of silver deposited. Then how we are calculated mass based on this density equal to mass by volume. Mass, if you bring LHS, density into volume. Density already given in the question, but volume is nothing but area into thickness. Area has given, thickness also has given. Just substituted, then of course mass has obtained. Now we'll continue then. Our main formula, mass of silver is equals to equivalent mass of silver divided by 96,487 into I into T. Again T is required, will bring LHS. Mass of silver cross multiplication 96,487 divided by E of silver into I. That's it. Now we'll substitute the values. T is equals to mass of silver just now calculated 0.42 into, of course, 96,487 divided by equivalent mass of silver. How will you get equivalent mass of silver? Atomic mass of silver divided by valency. Atomic mass of silver E is 108. Valency of silver. How much valence of silver means in silver nitrate? Silver valence is 1 because it splits as Ag plus NO3 minus. Silver valence is 1. 108 by 1, nothing but 108 into current in amperes. Current in amperes already given the question, that is 3. Again, if you simplify the value, you will get 125 seconds you will get. That is our final answer. That's it. Okay. Previous question also time has calculated. This question also time has calculated. But both the data are different to each other. That's all. Okay, next from this we'll stop today, and in the next video we'll discuss about Faraday's second law and its problems. Okay, right. Thank you. Bye.